let's talk about other signs of the apocalypse instead of just defamation. We got this story from Fox Business. Biden considers tapping emergency diesel reserve with prices near record high. Yes, you may have seen the story that there's going to be a diesel shortage, that diesel is at, $6 a gallon. People who drive trucks are saying it's costing them $1,000 to fill up, so they don't even know if they want to do the job anymore. And then you have over and over again these memes, particularly from people on the left, saying it's not Biden's fault. Biden can't do anything about gas prices. It's the greedy corporations. I give you this from this is from May 19th, only a few days ago, but you absolutely got to listen to it. This is Josh Hawley.
Oh, is our audio right?
Oh yeah, it never is it?
Okay.
I always got to.
It's because we listen to music before the show.
That's right.
Secretary Granholm, today in the state of Missouri, the average price of gasoline today, as of this morning, is $4.10. Average price of diesel is $5.18. And I'm sure you've seen the reporting this morning that now AAA is projecting that gas prices will hit a national average of $6 a gallon by the month of August. Is this acceptable to you?
No, it is not. And you can thank the activity of Vladimir Putin for invading Ukraine and pulling essentially those barrels.
With all due respect, Madam Secretary, that's utter nonsense. In January of 2021, the average gas price in my state was $2.07. 8 months later, long before Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, that price was up over 30%, and it has been going up consistently since. What are you doing to reverse this administration's policies that are drawing down our own supply of energy in this country, that are throttling oil and gas production in the United States of America? What are you doing about it?
With respect, sir, it is not administration policies that have affected supply and demand.
How can you say that when the price of gas was up over 30% from January to... you answer my questions, and it's my time, Madam Secretary, so why don't you answer my question? From January to August, the price of gasoline was up over 30%. In my state alone, it has been a continuous upward tick since then. And here's what your president did when he first came to office. He immediately re-entered the Paris Climate Accord. He canceled the Keystone Pipeline. He halted leasing programs in ANWR. He issued a 60-day halt on all new oil and gas leases and drilling permits on federal lands and waters. That's nationwide. That accounts, by the way, for 25% of U.S. oil production. He directed federal agencies to eliminate all supports for fossil fuels. He imposed new regulations on oil and gas and methane emissions. Those were all just in the first few days. Are you telling me that's had no effect on our energy supply?
So, yeah, I think it's fair to say that he very much listed the policy changes that have impacted the price of gas. And can I just point out something, I think, common sense? When you have a political party that has been screaming climate change and carbon emissions, do you think they're the party that's going to get you cheap gas? I mean, no. If you are someone who is also worried about climate change, you're probably happy that Joe Biden did those things. The repercussions are regular working class people aren't going to be afford to drive. Food prices are going to skyrocket. There's going to be shortages of diesel. And if we have to tap into these strategic reserves, I wonder, considering the fertilizer shortage already, what's food going to look like this fall when the harvest comes and ain't nothing coming through? Winter is coming, my friends. And when they try and claim it's Vladimir Putin who did this, here's what I hear. I hear them saying, we did this and we're glad we did this, but we don't want you yelling at us because we're going to do it more. So we need a scapegoat. So, yeah, get ready for it. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, the fertilizer situation is really critical. Already you see, obviously what's happening in the Ukraine has really just shut off all of that grain. And then India, of course, they've cut off their exports. And you really have to wonder in the long run, and when I say the long run, I mean in the next year or two, where we're going to be. Because if you don't have the fertilizer, and if you have an industrial farming system, right, the fertilizer, the petroleum-based fertilizers are essential to the food supply. Well, you don't have food. The only thing you then have are stores. Now, I think America will be okay. I think, most of Europe will be okay. They'll hurt. But in the third world, it will be crushing.
It already is. I mean, you got
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and there's politics involved in that.
Right.
Some of their policies and stuff. But it is already affecting many other places as well. I think the U.S. will be okay, but you ain't going to be happy.
No, and when you have unhappy people and you have a whole lot of guns and you have a whole lot of anger,
The powder
things
keg.
happen.
Look at the baby formula situation. Now we're importing, and it's so laughable how people defend Joe Biden. Like, look, he's solving the problem. It's like, bro, you don't get credit for solving the problem you made. You know, it's if you spill milk on my floor, I'm not going to congratulate you when you mop it up. I'm gonna be like, please don't do that again. Mopping it up was the least you can do. This is what we're dealing with now. You're gonna get angry people. You know, babies is bad enough, but I think we're gonna see a lot of shortages.
I saw an article that said that you can take methane and break it into hydrogen and graphene. So there are ways out of this, but people are so hooked on the short-term oil for whatever reason. We have been for the last 40 years of my life, 43 years. I don't know. It's always like just 2 years away, just 5 years away. Just like, what are we waiting for?
It's real simple. We built a world on oil. We are now standing on the pillars of fossil fuels. That's why we need them. You can't just take that away, because then your tower will fall. And that fall is going to kill a lot of people.